Well, hello! Welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, here to help guide you on your burning adventures. And today, we were so busy this week and last week that I'm just picking up the bear. And Sheila from the group, who's also in chat, hi Sheila, has been really wanting for us to focus on black fur. So here you go. This is black fur. Hi everyone. Hi Marie. Hi Paulo. Hi Ian. Hi Cian. Hey Eve.
Sheila's here.
Yeah, Sheila.
Did you say Sheila?
Yeah, I got Sheila.
I'm sorry.
Because she was the one who's really been asking for it. So, if we don't remember what the bear looks like, I did. Let's see here.
It looked like a bear.
It looked like a bear. We got this guy, and that's what the whole pose is for this piece. Hey, Podge! And so, but today, I am only focusing on this area right here, which is going to be the darkest and longest part of the fur. So this is where we're going to keep the focus for today. And I've got my reference photo up here, which is also, I've got a color version, same as what you're seeing on the screen, and a black and white version, which I think I will not pop that up. I move things around, and hopefully everything's, there we go. So that's what you're seeing on the screen right here, is that black and white. Oh, and I'm joined with hubby.
Okay.
I've been forgetting that lately, and I'm so sorry. So, I've got the 18M spear shader for the Optima. And one thing I didn't do that I need to do real quick is I was working on a paper burning on watercolor paper. And I do have I got a dirty pen. I can't think of what I want to say. So I'm going to quickly wipe it off so that it's gliding over the wood. So I'm just going to, I still have aluminum oxide on here. So I'm just going to quickly wipe off the tip. And then I'll heat it up. Right now it is off while I'm doing this. So,
Well, Chad is liking the new intro.
oh yeah? Awesome. I need to put some music to it, and I ran out of time today. So, got that nice and cleaned off. Let's see here. Ooh, let's just hit the, so just a couple of swipes, not very hard. And it's clean. Let's see here, make sure I can move it over a little bit. Normally I have my scratch board clipped to my backing board, but this is a 16 by 20 and it's a 1/4 of an inch thickness. So I don't have it attached to the wood because I don't want it to burn the heat through here. And I am going to start off with a little higher heat because I know that this area is dark, but not all of it is completely black.
Well, Heather's here.
Hey, Heather. And she just missed the tip.
No, she did not.
Oh, she didn't?
No.
Okay.
She's already starting.
Oh, yay. It's always fun when Heather starts. Okay, so I'm going to have a little harder time because I can't really move the board too much because it's big. But I really do need to get this guy done. So, right here, I should have printed out a bigger, just the bear, the whole, so I can see right here. We got an armpit. Yep, that's the armpit. So, I have basic lines down for the fur just so I know the direction, and not even so much the grouping, just mainly the direction so I can keep it all going the way it's supposed to. And we've got really dark in the back of the groups of fur. But then when you look, there's highlights. And that fur is, of course, lighter because it's a highlight. But it's also closer to a brown than it is black. Very few things are truly black. So it's still always nerve-wracking. Even though I've already burned on this wood and gotten started, still need to take a deep breath when I touch down with the pen. So right now I'm just getting some guidelines in. It's okay that these are dark. Definitely hard at this angle. I wonder how much would it throw you guys off if I do that. Okay, you can still see.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of worried about. And then I can clip on my scratch board.
I see we're not having to do the reverse thing today.
No.
That's good.
I fixed that. There we go. Okay. Now I can go easier in the direction that I want. And I'm just using the edge of the spear shader. It does actually a really nice job for fur. So I'm just going to get those in. And then I'll go back. I'm going to try to keep this area from getting too big. That way we can kind of get something done with it. And now, let's see here. These are finer hairs out here. So I'm not going to go all the way out because I can use a thinner tip and a lower heat setting to get those. But then we have clumps that are really dark. So I'm just going to put all of that in together. Do I need to zoom in?
I don't think so. It looks good to me. Also, we have Paul Lockwood, Chris Crafts. You already said hi to Heather, but Lee Art is here as well.
Hi, Lee. Hi, Paul. Hi, Chris. Did I miss anybody?
Heather's starting on puns. So why are you starting with like the? I noticed that you started with some like very dark lines.
Because Sheila had. Oh, why did I start with dark lines?
Yes.
Is because I know those are actually going to go a little darker for this area. And it always takes more heat to burn darker. So if I already start midway through, it's easier for me to darken it up.
Oh, okay. And apparently, cyanine cart is burning as well, but a white hamster.
A white hamster?
No black fur. An interesting fact, white hamster was actually the name of Jefferson Airplane's song before they turned to White Rabbit.
Was it really? Are you teasing me?
But it just wasn't as popular, so they changed the name.
You and your facts.
You don't need to look that up. Just take my word for
Take your word for it. Now, some of these hairs are lighter, so I'm kind of negative burning around the area. They will go darker because they are not like high highlights. They're just lighter. So I will go around them. And I'm tilting the tip back and forth. I'm using just the edge to get some texture. And then I'm using more of the end of it to fill in the area. And I don't have to put in every piece of fur, every strand, because, yeah, just go nuts. Too much. But I'm going to try to stay in this area so I can get closer to being finished on something. And hopefully that'll help Sheila. But looking.
Okay.
Move so I can see. There we go. I'm gonna get a little closer. Maybe. There we go.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and it stayed in focus too. The camera is like right here. Woohoo, hello. And so hopefully it should focus better. But since I'm not going to move around, I know it's really hard to see how I'm holding the tip to the wood. Now I can't say anything with a straight face because Heather, I just can't.
It doesn't matter what you say.
I know. So I'm not quite as worried about the pencil. I mean the graphite, because I am burning darker, but I'm still on the lighter areas. I'm not completely burning over that graphite because that will show through. So let's get our groups of fur in. Now, Sheila, it would help if you can kind of guide me as to what you're looking for. And it more than likely that will help a lot of other people. Sometimes it's really hard to explain things. I'm used to just turning on the pen and going. And now I'm having to really think about what I'm doing. And then figure out why I'm doing it. Let's see here. So I can erase some of this. Alright. And this is also putting a bit of groove into the wood, which I actually really like that. I like having texture to it. Because even when I seal it, it still stands out.
I think it makes your art look groovy.
Groovy. Don't mind hubby. He's still recuperating from his airplane flight yesterday.
Secret mission.
Oh, is that what we're going to call it?
Yeah.
Secret mission. So right now, I'm using the top edge and just darkening it a bit. And I know in the photo it looks, I guess you still can't really see, in this area on the photo there, it looks really dark, and it is from shadows. But the fur itself, whether you're doing dog fur or cat fur or bear fur, it's the light that's hitting it that determines the hue of the hair. There is a bit of warmth to the darker areas because the hair is not completely, absolutely black. It's just, it's close, but not completely. And I think sometimes people kind of freak out because they quickly see black. But if you take a moment to look closer, like some blacks will be a blue or purplish hue to it, especially when the sun hits it, and the angle that the feather or hair is laying. And other times you'll see browns and oranges. So when you look at a crow, it's not black. It depends on the time of day that the light is hitting it, the angle, and things like that. So nothing is pure black in nature. I probably should add that part in nature. So when you're working, I know Sheila's been doing a lot of dogs.
Well, she says a lot of the fur that she's been asked to do is short.
Short?
Yeah, short hair.
Okay. Probably doesn't help that I did this then. Okay, let's see here. So short hair, short black hair, you have to look to see where your highlights are. And there's a couple of different ways to do short black hair. And that would be, you know, smoother strokes where you're not trying to gouge it. But also, when you do stippling and you put them close together, that also gives the illusion to the eye that it's short hair because the hair comes off as pointing directly at you. So, granted, this pen's probably not the best to be doing that. But a lot of stippling in the really short areas, especially around the noses, in those areas, it gives more of a face-on look. And then for short hair, it would be short strokes, and they would be smoother. So if you notice, I'm not going very long like I am on the bear fur. You do have to look at how long the fur is, and your stroke is what's going to make it look shorter or longer. I cannot say anything now. My head, granted, Heather didn't create it in my head because my head already does that. But now I'm very conscious of what I say and how it can be turned. Alright, so let's see here. And right now, even what I'm doing here, the fur is not exact. It just needs to look close. So let's pull some of those out.
And peeling her heart says hi.
Hi, Patricia. So we'll get that. So it'd be the same as if you were even doing this in color pencil or graphite. You'd be doing similar types of grouping. The difference with those is it's a lot easier to pull highlights. So I'll fill in the groups, but you can still feel and see the texture. Oh, and I am on almost 4. In whatever direction I go, moves the hair. And now I'm looking at the reference and we're not seeing any real detail. And we also know that not only is the fur long, but it's not absolutely straight either. It's kind of frizzy. So I'm going to do small circles. In fact, I can go hotter. So I just bumped it up to 4.5. But I'm still going to go in the direction of the fur, of where I know the fur, even though I can't see it, I know these are going in this direction and some of it's going down. So I kind of want to still repeat that. Give it some body. And even now it can still go darker, but I don't want to go completely black for burning, because there's not areas of the burn that dark yet. I can always darken this up. So for that, I shall hold off. Do we have any other questions? I'm trying to make sure that I explain this the best I can.
No questions.
Everybody just enjoying their Tuesday?
I think so.
Let's see here. I do want this darker though, because I'm looking at his nose. Let's see here. Again, I'm not going exact. And as I slow down and let the pen recover some heat, it's going to burn darker. Like that. And when I put the strokes closer together, it makes it look more like a group as well. Let's see here, that's too light. So we'll do that. Let's see here, we're closer to his armpit. We've actually got, I'm going to come down a little bit. The groups are darker. You see, in different parts of this photo, you can also see his skin. And that's just going to be a lighter burning underneath. And go with the curves. I wanted to start the new piece today, but I got this cool idea. And I started putting the pattern, or putting my reference photos together for it. It's going to take longer than I expected to lay everything out, so I didn't want to rush it. But next week, fingers crossed, I am starting a surreal fantasy series. Creating my own world, but still doing realism for the burning. I'm really excited about that. So with that, you guys get to go along on my new journey. Alright. Let's see here. Now we got ridges, and like I said, this hair goes out further and more to point. So I just put some of the points in. Then I can go back in and put the small hairs. So even if you're doing short fur, you still need to go with the direction of it. It's just a matter of changing your strokes a little bit. Now I'm trying to fill in. Now I think this one will be easier to pull some of the highlights out, to scrape out, because it's a darker burn.
You have a question?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind. It's not. It's just Eve reminding chat how to write a question.
Oh.
I just saw the big question.
Just saw the big question.
I'm going to apologize right now.
What's wrong?
That I'm falling asleep.
Oh gosh, if you're falling asleep, then that means everybody else is falling asleep.
No, that's not what it means. It's from traveling.
Oh goodness.
I was falling asleep on the couch this morning too when I was drinking my coffee.
Coffee is supposed to wake you up.
Well, I know, but I guess I haven't had enough of it. I mean, I could go make some more, but I try and hang in there.
I didn't know you were that tired still.
Yeah.
We had to not only fly in, or you not only had to fly in, but then we had to drive the 300 miles, or I did, to get back up here.
I drove part way back, but...
Alright, so there's a gap here in the fur, and I want to make sure that I don't fill it in.
Oh, okay, you did have a question.
Oh, okay.
How thick are those wood panels, and where can you get them?
This...
Ask Madison Rodney.
Hi, Madison. This one is a 16 by 30, and it's 1/4 inch thick. This one I got at dickblick.com, and I have both a kit link that has all the wood, and that includes these panels, down in the description. Those are all affiliate links. So this is a piece I started last year, and I don't have a treacle board this size yet. So, and I am trying to overlap some of these groups just so it's not so flat looking, because the fur does overlap. And I want to get that. And I know it may look like a lot of work, and it is. But it is, I full-heartedly believe that this is doable by everyone. It might take some practice. But even if you're completely new at burning, I think you can definitely do this. Alright, so this fur is kind of going like that. I'll get that in there. Well, since you're so tired, we'll keep... Did you go to sleep?
Almost. Sorry, folks. I'll make sure I didn't miss anything.
Because I'm not looking at the screen. Maybe we should have brought Corinne in. I didn't realize you were so tired. So right now it just looks like a bunch of lines. And actually the color's a little off. But I know why.
Cyanine cart says that they're too tired for wood burning. Almost burned my table.
Yes, if you're...
Perhaps it is safer to enjoy streaming chat. Perhaps it is.
Alright, that's not quite as orangey now.
Was it orangey before?
Yeah, I had the saturation out.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Because you can't see it behind your closed eyelids.
Well, Bernadette didn't say anything.
That's because she's too busy being silly. Alright. So I do have some lighter fur here, but not as dark as underneath. And this is where the negative burning again comes in, to pop the lighter fur up.
Sorry.
Without having to go completely dark on the fur. Because even though it shows so dark in the photo, there's a shadow that goes all the way up this way, and I need to make sure that I keep the value as close as I can, or it's going to feel a little off. So let's do the little furs. So for that, for these really thin, let's try.
Zoe Hitchhikes says hello, everyone.
Hi, Zoe. Where's my pointy one? Need my pointy one. You would think, with the way I have everything, I could find it.
I'm assuming that Hitchhikes is the right way to pronounce her last name. It could be something like Hitchy Kids.
There it is. I think I'm going to go with the pointy one. Because this one will do a little thicker. You know what? We're going to do a little thicker and then thinner. I know you can scratch out things.
Oh.
But if I don't have to, I don't want to.
Signing Art says, I want a better burner right now.
I
I
know.
hate changing tips all the time, and yesterday I almost burnt my fingers because, of course, I don't have time to wait for the tip cooldown.
Oh no. Pliers.
Mm.
He has a Peter Brin.
Scissors.
No, you don't want scissors.
We're not just shouting out names of the
No,
tools.
we're not.
Okay.
So this one is the 9MS, and I'm just trying to get a little thinner line than what the spear shader did.
I didn't figure it was Zoe's last name. When I get tired, I see things differently.
That you do.
Yeah, it's a whole world of imagination.
It's like you've been drinking without the alcohol.
It really is.
So right now, I'm not even keeping my hand steady. I'm just kind of squiggling it a little bit. And that helps get those little finer hairs.
Lana Goes Art says hi.
Hey, Lana.
Signing says that I guess they use a screwdriver to pull the nib out.
Let me see here. I'm trying to keep the pen moving so I don't get a blob like I did there. But I can cover that one up, so I'm not worried about it.
The Blob.
The Blob.
That was a scary movie when it came out. I like the remake better, though.
Didn't see it.
You have a question from Zoe Hitchikis. Where are you using the side of the previous tip to do the thin lines?
Right here along this edge. So I've got it tilted where it's... I know it's really subtle, but it's more tilted this way versus using the tip this way. So I'm using this edge right here. And this one I'm barely touching. I did lower the heat down to 3. And I'm just trying to make this not so uniform and going in the right direction. And these hairs are lighter. I'm gonna erase that pencil. There we go. Now we can see it better. I guess you can't really see those lines.
I can see them.
Let's see how close we can get. There we go. Hopefully that stayed in focus. All right.
I did. Wow. Okay, that's a lot. I didn't realize.
I can go closer.
I didn't realize the things I wasn't seeing. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to get these. They can go darker, but they're still lighter than the groups. So I'm just, and they're not straight. We got a bit of fuzzy hair going on. And I think actually I'm going to get untangled. There we go.
So much patience.
And switch over to my really pointy one. And this one's going to get even finer. And this way I don't have to scratch anything out. I haven't decided how much of the background in this area I'm going to burn. Because I have pine needles down here. This is rock back here. And I may not need to burn that. I haven't decided yet. Alright. So I'm going to use, I'm not using it straight on the board. I'm using it down at an angle because this is a really sharp tip. Granted, in doing that, I get a thicker line. And go darker. Let's see here. So he is not having a perfect hair day. He's got the frizzes. And we want to show the frizzes.
Oh, you got another question.
Hmm?
Did you negative burn the light hair? Or did you scrape the wood there?
Oh, that's negative burn.
Oh, that's... Wow.
That's also, it's negative burn. It's moving the pin quicker, not letting it heat, recover its heat as fast. They're all little nuanced tricks to do the kind of burning you want. And most of it is control. The more control you can have, the more you can do without having to stop and adjust. And
that's true.
It also makes a few pins more versatile. I mean, I know I switched, but that's because...
Huh?
What?
Versatile. I just got that.
What?
Versatile?
Oh. Oh, huh.
You didn't know that?
Nope.
See, this is the perception that me and Sleepy gives me.
I guess so.
Bo Collins is here. Says, hey.
Hi, Bo. And I can also go in here and use it for some darker... No, I'm not getting it as smooth as a burn as I want. I know a lot of people use like this tip, and I don't mind it at all. Sometimes it doesn't do what I want. And if you have this if you have this set hotter, it'll actually burn a light line. Let me see if I can find a place that I don't mind. With darker lines behind it. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I was getting to where I could see the screen a little bit better.
So right there, because I have a higher heat, it's digging into the wood. It's burning more of an outline. I don't know. Can you see that?
I think so. Science says that they can't get Optima because of EU regulations.
Yeah, Pat's looking into that.
Oh, that sucks.
He's looking at different options. He's trying to see if he can get certified and what all that takes. And
if you couldn't use Optima, couldn't use a pen? If you're burning
no, the cord for the burner he has is different. It's similar to the Peter Jackson. So there.
Peter Jackson.
Peter Childs.
I was like, the
it's not just you, movies, obviously, today.
The Lord of the Rings movies? That's awesome.
So right here, it's actually scraping off some of the carbon and giving me a lighter. But that has to be in the dark areas. But it gives me more texture. So that's what this pin's really good for, is getting some of that texture. I can burn back. I'm just trying to show that you can actually do some corrections with the pen. I can't see if it's hard to tell. Okay, I see. I got a dark area here. Let's see if I can show it here. It's actually cleaning up the carbon. I really noticed this with the otter. Let's see here. Let me see if I can tilt it. The sharpness is too sharp now. See if that helps. And I am focused in really good. Actually, if I move the camera in, it would probably show better.
Paulo Abreu. He's here. He says hi. I thought he was in before. Maybe he left. Or maybe it was another
did.
Paul.
Welcome back, Paulo.
Or maybe it was just Paul.
No, Paulo was in.
Because there's 2 Pauls in the chat.
And there's something we need to do here in a minute before you fall asleep.
What do I need to do? Oh, I forgot to get that. What?
Oh, I have a plan.
You have a plan.
I have a plan.
Say Inspector Clouseau. I have a plan.
It may work about as well as his did. Alright, so... There you go.
Paulo says he was dining.
Yeah, he came in and said... Because he is in Portugal.
Oh.
So I am feeling a little bit more heat in this pin. Granted, I have it up higher, and it's right in this area. But if I just adjust my hand down so it's not resting, then it's completely cooled off.
This ink artist had a problem with their pen. Said it started doing an odd thing where the pen heats up but the tip doesn't.
Then I'm guessing your tip is not completely seated inside the pen, and so it's not heating. That's going to be the biggest reason, is going to be that the tip is not seated fully into the brass. Alright. And see, this area can go darker, and I kind of group those together too much, but you know what? It's okay. I'm not going to worry about that, because these come out to a point, and then we've got the frizzy hairs. I'll put some of that in there. But I do, seeing this, and this is really rough, this area needs to go darker. And because of how I burned with this pen and the areas removing carbon, it should be like etching in theory. And because I can feel the groove, and it should only, the pen should glide over the top. And unless it's higher heat, it shouldn't burn. It should remain lighter. But that only works for this pen if you do it in a darker area. Because if I just burn on raw wood, it burns dark. And this is not sanded at all. But let's see if it works on this. Now, if I hold the pen more perpendicular to the wood, it should... Okay, this wood's not going to do it. It's too soft.
Do what?
Where it removes the carbon, like a knife. That's what I've been doing with some of the areas. It definitely gives a lot more texture. So if you accidentally get a blob somewhere, with this tip you can fix it. So you're so going to sleep over there.
No.
I heard that.
No, I just...
Jason makes a certain noise when he's starting to doze off. He's like, I can't make it, but if you listen close, he's already doing it.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. You only went to Oregon.
I know.
Alright, so what I'm going to do before you fall asleep, and I would not do this with one of my regular pens. Let's see here.
What are you doing?
I can't do with that. Oh, I wanted to... Alright, this is a tester pin. Let's see if I can make it work.
What are you doing?
You know what we were talking about earlier?
Yeah. I think.
Let's see if I can get this. I don't know if they are watching, but we shall try. That's our candle.
Ah, okay.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so we have some toasty birthdays today and tomorrow. So I wanted to wish them happy birthday. So here's our candle because he forgot to get a candle.
I forgot to get a candle.
So we're going to sing happy birthday to Bubba Jason and Josh. Josh turns 14 tomorrow. And hopefully they're watching. You ready?
I'm ready.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jason and Josh.
And Josh.
Happy birthday to you. Make a wish.
Oh, good job.
And I blew out the candle.
Yay.
Yay. And that's hot as hell right now. So I gotta be careful where I put that. Well, I guess I can keep the light off. Alright. So, I am going to go back to the spear shader. Turn down my heat because I don't need it that high. So, I thought, how fitting is that? If I guess we could have used the torch, but that's okay. That's all right. That's all right.
I got Bernadette to bring us the torch.
I didn't think about it.
Heather says, "Happy burn day to you." Burn day.
Burn day.
I like it.
Yeah.
Getting lots of birthday cake emojis.
Yay. So, Jason, Bubba Jason, so let's please don't confuse that, is my middle brother. And now that summer started, hopefully, I forgot to text him to say, hey, are you guys going to be in? I'll text him to let him know. Well, I got to call him for his birthday anyway, so. And I want to find out if Josh has been playing with his new burner. So I'm kind of smoothing out some of the area in here. Hopefully you can see a little bit better since I killed one of the lights. Oh, and I don't have... I thought I was going to have a bad shadow, but I don't. So I'm just trying to smooth it out a little bit. And I'm on 4. I don't want to smooth all the way out to the edge, because I do need that to feel more flyaway. Well, do you want them to ask you trivia questions?
What kind of trivia?
Whatever. You saw the new Solo movie.
I did. It was good.
So
I liked it a lot.
If Ian's still in here, he likes to make Star Wars references.
I once had a trivia competition with this other little kid when I was...
I was about to say, were you a kid or an adult?
No, I was a kid. I was like 10 or 11.
Excuse me.
And I was like, it was deadly serious because it was Star Wars trivia. Because his parents were like, oh, nobody knows Star Wars. Like, I forget what his name was. Anyway.
You knew the trivia, not his name.
And I was just like deadly serious about it. No one could out trivia me.
Oh, now you just...
Well, I was that way. I'm not that way anymore.
You know, there's something, and it doesn't have to do with the fur, but it does have to do with burning. And that, I've had a thought.
What's that?
It was a little painful, but I had it. Well, June is June is... Oh, gosh, here we go. Stay with me. Stay with me. No, stay with me. Here, hold my hand. Stay with me. Stay with me. So June is direct watercolor month, 30 by 30. Ew, you liked me. And July is World Watercolor Month. And October is Inktober. And I feel a little jealous that we don't have something for pyrography. So I'm starting it.
Which month?
I am going to start, and I have to put things together, and hopefully Richie will be able to help. I'm looking at...
Which Richie? Rich or Cunningham?
Ricardo, and I cannot pronounce his last name.
Oh,
Richie.
The woodburner guy.
Yeah, Richie.
Oh, gotcha.
For August, I want to have World Pyrography Month, but we're going to have to do it a little differently for this challenge because part of what I want the goal for the challenge to be is for people to practice and take a little extra time and really get a feel for it. So I'm thinking that it'll be one board, a size of your choosing, and each day will have a section, however you decide to mark it off, and you just burn a little bit of something until it's finished. And by the time the 30 days are up, 31 days are up, you'll have a collage piece. I will come up with prompts. So if you can't think of something, you can use the prompt and then you post it online.
So what's everybody think about that?
I know that's just a rough description of what I'm looking at. There'll be a lot more detail to go along with it. So I'm just gonna think of some silly prompt. So maybe one day is, I'm looking around. I can't think of anything now. Something silly.
A llama.
Okay. A day in a llama. And you figure out whatever.
Huh?
Well,
A who llama?
a day as a llama.
Oh. A day as a llama.
And so you would just pick one thing. And depending on the size of your board, you would burn whatever you choose to burn. And I'd show you some ways so that you can add to your... Because the way I'm thinking is I might do an animal based. So it would be different animals. And they would be collaged together, so there wouldn't be lines. It would look like I intentionally, ahead of time, drew it together completely, but it's not. I'd keep like my tracing paper attached, and draw on that, and then transfer. But with keeping the tracing paper attached, each drawing is already there so that you can incorporate the next one however you want to and get a better visual. And then ask people to share and post and...
Signing card wants to join.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm discussing it here, but there'll be a full-on post. I don't know that I'm going to start a... Oh boy. Facebook page for it.
Sorry, I almost had a moment there.
Oh, see, there's another thing that Jason likes to do.
Oh my god.
When he starts falling
I don't like to do
yes,
it.
Yes, I like when you do it. It's hilarious. When he starts falling asleep, he says words. His famous one for me.
It's like the second time it's done it.
Oh.
But it's okay, it'll catch up.
I'll just keep going. Let's see here.
They said, oh no, buffering at the time of story.
Oh, so let's wait and find out what's the last thing they heard.
Okay. I think we're back.
Are we? Yeah, it's done buffering.
We're back. Okay.
So what was the last thing you heard?
Yeah, well, I was going to tell you that you need to be careful because something about King Leonidas and something else that was going on. But
what's King Leonidas?
I don't know. I don't know.
See, he can't hide going to sleep because he does that. So you know when he's blurting out something really silly, he's falling asleep. You can't hide it. See, I know this doesn't look like...
It looks like fur to me.
Well, I'm going to turn it because we're looking down at it, and that's not how it goes.
Yeah, but...
I'm going to turn it real quick like this so that you can see it a little better as fur.
No, it looks like fur.
So, see, now I need to kind of start taking it up this way so that it connects. So I think for now I can sit not like that. I'll come back.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I think you cleared it up. I think that apparently when it cut out, they didn't know what I did when I was sleepy, but you just told them. So Zoe says, "Oh, I didn't realize this piece was so huge."
Yeah, it's a big piece. I'm trying to get it.
Paula says, "Now I feel for sleepy Jason." Thank you, Paula. Thank you. Thank you. At least someone understands.
There we go. Get it back on the screen. There we are. Okay. I understand. I understand that you're telling yourself when you're falling asleep.
You just...
But I love it. It's funny. Sometimes you answer me. Not often, but sometimes. I can get you to tell me more of your story.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I'm trying to move the fur more towards his chest. And see, another tip that I can use on this, because some of the fur needs to come out a little more pointy, would be the rounded skew. That does a really fine line.
Okay.
So I changed my angle. That's good. And again, this part's going to be darker, but I do need to make sure I'm going in the right direction. Now I'm using the edge, but I'm dragging it backwards or towards the head.
Okay.
Which is a little awkward, but it's alright. I am putting a little pressure. But I don't want to keep moving the board. But I can. There's graphite here. I can erase that. See, it's still... Oh, I can't move that. Let's see here. Do that. I'm trying to do it with the least amount of glare. And then real quick, the skew, which is extremely fine. Let's see. Can hardly see it. But I can also use the side of the tip up here for shading as well. And I bumped down to 3 because this is thinner metal. There's less metal there. It takes less heat to get hot.
Ah.
And that's where the test boards really come into helping you out. You assume you have a better visual of what tip does what.
Yeah.
So
Lana was asking, isn't that hot? Because I was wondering that too. Because I saw you touching the pen.
Where? Down here?
Yeah.
It wasn't on.
Oh.
Was not on.
Sign ink art says it looks like a razor.
And it kind of cuts into the wood that way too.
Oh, okay. Make finer.
Yeah, it makes the finer fur.
Heather's asking me if I've ever fell asleep standing up. Yes, I have.
I'm sure you did in the army.
Yep. I
probably can sleep with your eyes open too.
No, I can't sleep with my eyes open, but I can sleep standing up. You just have to have like a wall or something. She wants to stand sleeping.
If you want to remain standing?
Well, yeah, because otherwise what happens is like I'll fall asleep and then I'll end up like waking up suddenly and have to take a couple steps to keep from falling down.
I can fall asleep on a guitar amp while it's being played. I've done that. Alright, so I can use the side of the very end of the skew at a bit of an angle and shade down as well.
Shade down.
But because this is a thinner tip, you really need to be careful.
Shade down. Paul Lockwood has a question. How closely are you copying the picture for the actual fur itself?
Right now, just trying to get things in the right area. It's definitely not exact.
I think you're just trying to get the feel of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's just way too much stuff going on if I try to put every...
The fur is looking really good, I think.
Well, when I look at the photo, it doesn't look the same.
Shade down. Shade down.
And I'm trying to curve.
Oh, Zoe says that she's fallen asleep in a club under the speakers.
It just, that when there is a constant beat, it gets so relaxing that it's easy to fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So curve in a little bit.
I think Lana missed the bigger picture because she's asking what part of the bear are you doing.
That would be, let's see if I can do this right. His armpit. Let's see if I can point right on that side. I can't go over the photo.
Oh.
So I have to...
You tripped me out there for a second. I was like, whoa! Whoa!
So, yep, that's the full photo. So I guess it's hard to see. But there we go. There we go. All right. So this just puts finer hairs in as well.
Finer hairs.
Yep, there he goes. And the thing is this tip, because it is so sharp, if you press too hard, it will follow the grain of the wood. So you kind of got to be careful.
Need to be careful.
And he's gone. Now, you do that in the army?
Sometimes.
So this is how the wood sounds. And this is the burning.
Wow, that's like What do they call it? The noises to make people sleep?
The ASMR.
ASMR for pyrographers.
I don't know with that. You're already sleepy. Yes, hairy armpits. Alright, so back to the spirit shader. Let's get some more darks in here. I could also use the ball tip. Or the 2B.
Or not 2B.
We're going to stick with the 18M.
That's not Shakespeare.
No, that wasn't part of it?
2B or not 2B. I shall stick with the 18M.
No? Doesn't work?
Could work.
So we do have above here. Let's see here. So that's stick out. Okay. We have more darks in this area. But they're not... There is a little bit of black. But again, it's not the fur. It's the shading. It's the shadowing.
Can you get pure black with a burner? Or is it you just limited to the darkest tone of the wood?
Well, let's see here. I just bumped up to...
What's going on with the monitor there?
You're going to have to use the button underneath.
What am I doing?
Let's see here.
I'm using the button. Oh, okay.
Oh, I guess it helps if I'm on camera.
I don't know what I did.
But it made it stop, so.
Okay.
So I would say it's the darkest that the wood itself would go. Because right now I'm on 7. But if I go to 8, it's not going to be too much different. And I'm barely touching because the tip is red. Barely. I don't want to burn. I don't want to bend the tip. But if you notice, for this particular wood, 7 is not much different than 8.
No.
So that's as dark as I'm going to get. It's a little darker, but that's about as dark as it's going to get.
Heather's asking, I don't know because I've never seen myself fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
If I get this spaced out look on my face.
Let me see your spaced out look. Yeah, he does.
Whatever.
Sorry, but you look a bit stoned.
Really?
Even though you're not, you look it.
Trying to get my eyes open. Okay.
Alright, so I bumped down to 4.5. Don't want to. But we do need some more darks in here. Your darks are also what makes your lights more prominent. So we'll go to 5.
That sounds like it almost started to sound like fake advice.
What?
To have your darks, you need your lights.
What do you do?
Before you turn left, you must turn right.
Depends on where you're going. Depends on where you're going. Alright. Now I'm not going to make the whole area darker so that we can see more of the group of hairs. And remember, the quicker you move and the more time you're touching down at the board on the board, the lighter it'll burn. And then as soon as I take it off, give it a second or two, and touch back down, it's going to start burning darker because it recovered its heat.
So you can get into a rhythm of it.
Oh, yeah. There's been times that I've It's been a while, but there's been times where I've dozed off while burning. Well, not like dozed off, but it's been one of those, and then touching down and going, oh. Luckily, I didn't ruin any pieces, but then that's when I realized that this is just not an art form you can do when you're that tired.
No.
You really need to just turn the machine off and walk away. And because I also need to pay attention, because when I hit the raw wood with the same heat setting, it's going to burn darker compared to where I've already burned.
Zoe has to go. Food's
Bye,
there.
Zoe.
Order pizza or something.
Yay.
Heather's asking, do I drive? Yes, I drive.
He doesn't drive in Phoenix.
No.
I do that.
It looks too much like a wreck.
I know.
What else? Why would I drive be a question?
Because you're falling asleep?
Oh, well, I try not to drive when I'm doing it. In fact, I normally drive up from Phoenix, but we had to switch out yesterday at the last truck stop because I was getting tired. Eve wants to know, will there be more episodes of Burning with Jason?
Yes, we had talked about doing it today, and actually, I'm glad we didn't. If you can't stay awake,
It would have been tattooing with Jason.
tattooing oneself with Jason.
I'd be awake probably though.
Would you have stayed awake?
Well, yeah.
I can get myself pretty relaxed, and I have to make sure I'm careful.
Oh dear.
What?
Yeah, Paulo goes, yeah, we need more Jason burning. And he says, that sounded wrong. There's several people in chat that want more burning.
Okay. What would you like to see him burn? On the wood. With the burner pin.
Very specific.
Well, at this point, I think I need to be pretty specific.
What, for me?
for
chat.
For in general. Let's see here. Let's see. You know what? The spoon shader would work well in these areas. So let me switch out to the spoon shader real quick. I'm really loving the Optima spoon shaders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had stopped using spoon shaders almost a year ago because I couldn't find one that I liked. And luckily, being able to discuss with Pat what I liked and didn't like, along with other artists doing the same, he was really able to get an awesome pen. Alright, and it really glides smooth. Even over our burned area.
You can really smell the smoke.
I'm burning at a higher heat.
Oh. What words
are escaping.
What is the temperature in which you start smelling smoke, do you think? Like what level?
Depending on the wood, with this being birch, I think I noticed it at about 4.5.
4.5, okay. Oh, Heather said she wrecked the car before. That's why she asked about sleeping. You know, I had one instance that cured me of that. I was trying to drive across the United States, and I was driving up to Minnesota. This was when I was much younger.
Did they have cars back then? Sorry. Had to.
Anyway, and I was having trouble keeping my eyes open, and I was on the highway, and I was in the right lane, and I woke up, and I was in the left lane, and there was a semi to my right, and I pulled over right after that, and I don't push it anymore. But I have had times in the military when, we have to stay up and, because mission dictates. So we have to, stay up for ridiculous amounts of hours and work and drive and stuff. And I've had some instances where I've unintentionally fallen asleep.
Intentionally falling asleep?
Unintentionally.
Oh, I thought you said intentionally. It was like, oh, that's one way to tick somebody off.
One time I fell asleep when I was manning a gun, and it was just me and my driver, and I went over a bump, and I woke up, and I went down below to be like, oh man, I fell asleep, and he was slumped over the wheel asleep because we both hadn't had any sleep in a long time, and so yeah, it's not good.
Luckily, it was out in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, well, yes, it wasn't. Yeah, I think the bump was us going off the road though. So
did you guys stop then?
No,
or was that enough to freak you out and wake you up?
Normally, it depends on how much sleep you haven't had. If you've been up for 24 hours, a little scare like that will keep you awake for probably a good 40 minutes. But if it's 48 hours or beyond, it's you'd be like, oh, that was scary. I'll never fall asleep again. And then it's 5 minutes later.
Let's see here. I'm just trying to darken up some of these areas.
Paulo asks, is this similar to tattooing with liners and shaders?
I've never tattooed. I got a tattoo, but I haven't tattooed. People call it wood tattooing. I think there is a bit of a difference when it comes to something like the tip of a tattoo gun, the needle, versus wood burning. Because I'm not inserting this into the wood and then dragging it to create the lines. I'm just gliding on top. But I would definitely like to know if you're watching this on replay and you do both wood burning and tattoos, that would be quite a fun fact to hear. How they're similar.
Yeah. Paulo's never heard of the expression wood tattooing.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Well, you're permanently altering the wood.
It's true.
And I think that's the main part of why they call it that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if a tree got a wood burning it didn't like, would it have to go to a laser burning removal?
I don't know if you go to... That would just make it worse on wood. I had to blend in these blobs.
Blend the blobs.
Blend in the blobs.
I'm starting to see shapes and things in the massive fur.
What are you seeing?
Well, I see a wolf.
You see a wolf? Where's the wolf?
And then I also see a hamster. Or
there is no hamster in this.
It's like a hamster getting ready to dive with its tiny paws out.
What, right there?
Huh?
Right there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't see hamster in that, but...
Or some sort of small animal.
I did turn the heat down because...
Oh, I see a shark, too.
A shark.
Yeah.
Shark.
Go down. Wait.
Well, I see a shark there.
I'm trying to guide you by watching my screen, which is 20 seconds ago.
Did I fill it in?
No. That's okay.
Let's see here. So with this tip, I can turn it around and use it.
If you turn it around, will it just rub the cord on the wood?
No, I've got it upside down so I can use the very edge of it to get some thinner lines. You have to be more careful with that, but it's doable. You can also use the very edge of it.
You're a wizard.
I'm gonna have to put you to bed soon, aren't I?
I got stuff to do.
I know, you gotta get ready for the second art show.
Mm-hmm.
So do I.
George wants to take us to secret restaurants.
Oh, that's right. Oh.
I wonder if it's Sonic. He asked me if it was if I ever had paper tots. Tater tots.
Okay.
Oh, he's gonna have to drive. I just realized that.
Yeah, if he's
I'm in
taking
no
you
shape to drive.
No, you are not. Alright. I think we're gonna call it for the day here.
Okay.
See, right here, let's see if I can do it again. So we got this.
Uh-huh.
We got this.
I can hear it.
Then we got this.
Whoa.
I burned this area smoother and put more texture here.
So, you know, that's what I'm talking about, like, why your art could be interactive for people. You know?
And can you grab the cherry blossoms?
No.
They're right behind you. Careful.
Fine.
So I did want to show you. I sealed and UV sprayed. I did the first couple of varnish layers. Spray varnish. No. Cherry blossoms.
Is that a cherry blossom?
That is not. That is an otter.
Oh.
And then I did the UV spray on all the flowers, but I just wanted to show the cherry blossoms. It did not brighten up too much.
Oh my god, I think I burnt that. I forgot we did pictures of Bernadette. Ha!
Yes, you did. So that is how the cherry blossoms turned out. I still need to do the brush on varnish. And in fact, Jason noticed this morning where I did a higher heat. It actually lifted the veneer on this panel.
And where'd you get that panel?
This one's the Blick Studio panel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm going to do the brush on because the edges are not sealed.
I think it's an interesting thing, even if it's unintentional. And probably not good if the veneer is lifting.
Yeah.
But it looks cool.
It's not going... I don't think it's going to ruin the piece.
No.
But I am going to put probably a good 3 layers of polyurethane on this. Polyacrylic. How about the other 2?
What are the 2?
Behind you, the flowers.
Oh, yeah.
Just be careful because for whatever reason, the UV spray is not sticky, but it's... I can feel it. So we got the other 2. And when I do the brush on... Goodness. When I do the brush on varnish, it is going to be a satin, so there won't be as much glare. But I was kind of expecting the wood to get a little darker and for the color to get brighter. I'm glad it didn't, though I will say the camera's not picking it up quite as much. Oh, because I turned down the saturation. There. That's probably going to change it. But it is a little sticky still. And I did this on Saturday. So it shouldn't be. I'm not exactly sure why that's an issue. So I just wanted to show those that the first layers are getting done. Let's see here. And do we have any final questions?
Everybody thinks that those look really nice and beautiful.
Well, thank y'all. So this is our bear. so far. I'm expecting him to take a lot longer because I put so much detail into this one. Let me see if I can do this without making you guys sick.
Oh. I feel like that wood burning is like one of those things that you'd see coming out of Japan, and the common, it'd be a documentary and it'd be like, some wood burnings take 30 years to complete. Only a master has that kind of patience.
Alright. Ah! Why is this not doing it? There we go. Now you're all sideways. Hey, look. There's the burners. I did that on purpose. Yeah.
Did you?
No.
Oh. You had me believing.
So I'll move it. There we go. Even I have a better idea how big this is. And pull the glare. Maybe. There we go. Now you can see it better. So this is just his armpit and his head, though it does look off.
Just the angle.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's not done yet.
Alright, so hopefully there. Maybe that's a little better. Though that's only showing, actually, there's more of him. So.
You have some very nice comments.
Oh, thank y'all. I'll get this. You can see my mess over here. I'm just trying to get him all in frame. There we go. There we go. So that is how big this guy is. Ah, thank you, Paulo. Okay, so if we don't, oh, I don't like that light. I like that light.
Paul says it's not a mess. You should see his workplace.
Oh, well, I'll clean it up. I try to clean up in between each project.
Me too.
And no, you don't.
I do so.
No, you don't.
Just can't tell.
Well, if you can't.
Because your studio is like super duper, everything's in its place. My studio is fluid.
Oh, it's fluid? Is
yeah.
that what we're calling that?
Meaning that there's fluid everywhere. No, I clean up between projects.
Well, if they want to see the burners. So this is how I have the 3 now. Hopefully I don't get you too dizzy. Right there. I do still need to do a studio tour. So that is what you guys are seeing behind the camera. So the Burnmaster, my Optima, and the Coalwood. The nibs burner has been put away, and Joshua has the razor tip. So, oh, and I have to, because this is probably really weird looking, that mask up there. Cole made that for me when he was in 7th grade. It's paper mache, but I just realized it was frame.
People say, well, you're just into voodoo or something.
Don't gotta go that far. No, that's just an art piece from Cole, the younger son. Cole the younger.
That's cool.
Okay, well, I think we are going to wrap this up. And I will get, once I clean up the studio, do a studio tour. But for now, we got Bear here, which I can't remember. Did we name him?
I think you did.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but you think you did.
Did I? Okay. So, next week I will start on, hopefully, the fantasy piece that I have in my head.
Or am I painting? Or am I drawing something with fire?
Well, I'll let everybody down in the comments.
You'll let everybody down.
I will ask everybody who watches this on replay to let us know down in the comments. Do you want to see the new project I'm going to start working on? Or do you want me to figure out something to teach Jason with burning? That is something we talked about doing maybe once a month.
Yeah.
I just don't know what it would be. And if there's something specific that you would want Jason to learn, let us know also so that I can incorporate that into the lesson. So if we don't have any more questions, we're going to stop it here. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. I hope I gave you some clue about black fur and the fact that it's not black. And it depends on the atmosphere and lighting behind it as to the color that it's going to end up being. And it's not going to be a completely blacked out burn. It's going to have different values in it. And we learned some funny things about Jason and when he gets sleepy.
Where is that?
That you like to say funny things.
Oh, I'm sure that's all manufactured. No one believes that, Valarie.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna stop here. If you're new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Go live every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Happy burning, guys. Bye.
I'm so tired. I must sleep.